And good evening, everybody. We are here, we are live, and we are spanning the globe. Literally. It's Thursday night. Time once again for our weekly podcast. And joining me this evening to my left, to your right, we have Richard the Warden joining us tonight. Good evening.
Good
Put my
evening.
earbuds in. I always have to take them out at the beginning because I always slur. There's a little delay. Now I can hear you guys. And then below me, he's still muted. For some reason, when I take you backstage, your microphone, I have to mute it. Everybody else goes to mute automatically, but I have to unmute you. I don't get that. We have Jim Lawrence below us, our resident referee,
How's it going?
and then our hatless host. He was wearing a hat a while ago backstage.
Okay, I'll put it back on.
He was doing the over the top.
Yeah, Mr. Andy. And we have a guest backstage. I think he's still backstage. Wave at me if you see me or hear me.
Yeah, where'd he
He's
go?
waving. Okay, he's waving. Can you guys see him?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Just me. I can see him. There's going to be a rivalry here in a little bit. I can see it coming. We actually have a guest tonight. I've been trying to get this guest on for a little while. I'll get to him in just a moment. But first of all, we have a little bit of business. We want to say hello to our viewers. Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Man.
What up, Big
What's with that
Ben?
been watching? Like having him on the show too from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get to the guest. Before I do, I want to show off the belt of the week. I've shown this belt before, just because I just got it. But I'm going to feature it as the belt of the week this week as soon as I get my menu up here at the right place. Wrong menu. Here we go. So now I'm going to give you a heads up on this video. There is one part where it appears to pause for about 5 or 6 seconds, and it's an editing thing on my part. It's my fault, but I didn't have time to re-edit it. So without further ado, here's our belt of the week. There you have it. I got to mute Jim again. There we go. All right. That was our belt of the week, and I got it right here. I always like to show the belt after the video. This is what they call the Levy style of belt. This was very common and popular during the early 80s. Every organization had a regional champion that had a belt in this style. It had different features of artwork, but the Florida Championship, the Southern Championship, many other championships. But it's a beautiful little belt.
Mm-hmm.
And just one quick little fact: we've talked about this before. This is the world class. When they had these, Fritz von Erich actually had 2 of them. Only had 2 of them, but they represented like 4 different titles. It was the American Heavyweight Champion, it was the American Tag Team Champion, Texas Heavyweight Champion, and it was also the in the Fort Worth television market, it was the Television Championship. So it held like several duties. So anyway, I want to get to my guest, and I put up the banner too early, but that's okay. I'm still learning this stuff. We've been trying to get this guy on for a few weeks now, and he lives just on the other side of the state of me. He lives that way. That way. The eastern half of Oklahoma. I live in the western half, and when I get light snow, he gets ice. So the ice has a detrimental effect on the power grid, and he's been without power each time we've tried to get him on. So we've had beautiful 70, 80-degree weather this week, and so I talked to him earlier this week, and I said, how's it going over there? He said, good. So I'm going to bring him on. He is a professional referee, professional wrestling referee. I don't have a script here. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. And his name is Mr. Ryan Martin. welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Good to
Welcome
finally
back.
have you on.
Absolutely. Glad to
Great-
be here, man. Glad to
Great
be
Oklahoma
here.
weather. I'm going to start off. That's good to know, Ben. Good. Ben sells a lot of belts, a lot of high quality belts. I'm going to start off with a question here. I'll let Jim handle some of the other questions, but before you became a referee, did you have any aspirations of becoming a professional wrestler?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Since my very first time watching it on TV, I kind of came across wrestling by accident. I was flipping through the channels, probably about 6 years old. I was just flipping through the channels, and I happened to catch I think it was like a Saturday morning episode of Velocity. And I saw John Cena on there ripping, I think his name was Kenzo Suzuki. And
That's right.
or some Suzuki was Suzuki. And I remember he ended up doing his thing, talking some trash, and then hit him with the 5-knuckle shuffle and the FU. And I was like, dude, I want that. Whatever that is, I got to be a part of that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we all want to be wrestlers at one point in time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Jim's got a lot of questions, but I'm going to defer to Richard for a moment first.
Okay. Your very first match, you actually got the referee, and how did it feel to get in the ring and actually be the ref for the first time?
Oh, man. So what an experience. Of course, before I was the most nervous thing in the whole world. I was just a nervous wreck. But the second I got done with the match, I really felt what the talent would tell me, like, hey, you're going to hit that adrenaline rush. The crowd's going to pop and you're going to feel it. And I had no idea what they were talking about. And as soon as that crowd started to pop, man, it was just an immediate rush. And I absolutely loved it. And as soon as I got done, I come through the curtain to the back, and my promoter and my coach was like, he said, well, how do you feel? And I said, I feel great. He said, well, I can tell you're smiling from ear to ear. You can't get that grin off your face.
That's when you knew you were in.
Yeah. I was like, I like this.
Wow. Andy?
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just where do you currently referee at?
Right now I'm with my home promotion is NCWO here in McAlester, Oklahoma. And
Okay.
I'm also refereeing for Majestic Championship Wrestling, Tornado Wrestling Alliance, and Body Progression Wrestling at Bristow.
Okay. Sounds great.
Cool.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, I
Cool.
try to stay that way.
All right. Jim?
You talk about your first match. I remember mine. Whenever you went out there, and I know this is what it was like for me. So my question is, was it the same for you? Were you so scared of being like screwing up and being in the way? That's like the worst thing in the world is to be in the way and because the whole goal is to be seen but not be seen, right?
Right.
And and I was like paranoid like that I was going to be in the wrestler's way. I was going to be I'm going to do something just totally goofy, trip over myself, something like that. Did you were you what were your concerns going into your first match?
I was more nervous. I just didn't want to screw anything up. I just didn't want there to be a big pause in the middle of the match and be like, oh, what is the ref doing? That was my biggest fear, is I just didn't want to be noticed in a bad way.
Same. Okay, here's one. I've only had to deal with this with really honestly just little kids. Have you ever had anybody try to get into the ring or get up on the ring or anything like that during a show or during a match?
Thankfully, I have not came across that, and I hope I do not. But no, I sure haven't yet. Tell me about your experience with that.
Basically, man, it's little kids. They get wound up and their parents aren't really paying that much attention, and they'll get close. Fortunately, the heels are scary enough to where they can go, "Roar!" And
Right.
the kids, it backs them a little bit. There was one time I actually had to get out of the ring and I was working one of Shane Douglas's matches, working with Beastman, and I actually had to get out of the ring and kind of push this kid, this little kid away from the ring because these two big men are, getting ready to go at it, and anything can happen. And I kept trying to tell the kid, "Hey kid, you got to get away from the ring." Hey kid, finally had to get out of the ring and literally like, "Come on kid, you got to go." It's you can't be right here. You can't. You're too close. And it was at an outdoor show, so of course there's not too many. The barricades aren't as nice as what they are on a lot of the indoor shows, I should say.
Right.
But let's see here. Here's one. Have you ever had to count a pin even though that wasn't the finish of the match?
Not yet. I haven't had to do that yet either.
I have.
I did end up. I did hit a 5 count on somebody though. That was not the finish, and I had to disqualify him.
Now, see, I've not had
happen.
to do that yet. I try to be pretty judicious. What I'll do when it comes to that is if I'm close enough, I'll get in between them and separate them, so I don't have to hit that 5 count. I'll get to 4, and then I'll make my way in there to push them apart.
Right.
But I've never had to do that. But I have. The wrestler was trying to wait like 5 9/10 of to kick out, and I got my hand down before the shoulder came up, and I had to call for the bell. I mean,
Right.
it is what it is,
Yep.
I mean, and when I got back, the wrestler was pretty upset, and fortunately, the promoter backed me up. He was out there watching. He said, "You didn't kick out."
Awesome.
The promoter backed me up, and after that, me and the wrestler, we sat down and we talked and everything. I was like, "Look, man," I said, "I'm going to count it like it's real every time. That's my job."
Exactly.
Because you and I, we're the only people that's actually credible in this thing. Everybody else is just doing this crazy stuff, and we're the only thing that adds any kind of legitimacy to it. So I have to treat it like it's legit.
That's right. Yep.
Have you ever been legitimately hurt in the ring? Been
I haven't.
in the wrong
I sure
position,
haven't.
or
Not legitimately hurt. Not anything too serious. Just couple sprained ankles here and there, or my knee. I kind of sprained my knee one time, landing on it wrong. Which now I'm starting to wear knee pads underneath my pants to take care of that issue.
I learned that lesson early. I was working on a mat that was not canvas. It was just like a plastic tarp type mat at this show in Ohio. And I mean, I dropped down I do a little baseball slide type.
Same.
And when I dropped down to do the slide, I dead stopped. I mean, it was like, bam.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, it hurt really bad. Fortunately, I didn't tear anything or roll anything. But after that, it was man, I've never not had my knee pads after that. So
Right. Yep.
Have you had any wrestlers actually run into you in the ring?
No, I haven't. I had one. It was planned. We did a one planned spot where he was going to push me over and run into me and knock the opponent off the rope. So we did do that. But nothing accidental. Luckily, knock on something
cool.
there.
Yeah, knock on wood.
I have fortunately never been in anybody's way. I was working with a couple friends of mine in one of their matches, and they kind of obviously whenever they're in a headlock, whatever way they're facing is the way they're going to go. And somehow they turned and then shot as they were turning, because I was trying to walk around. They turned towards me and shot. And fortunately I stopped like right there. And I mean, it was like this close to my face, you know what I mean? But it was just one of those things where they turned and I happened to be already going through the motion.
Wow.
But
Right.
but once again, it's just one of those things, if you're trained properly, to not be wherever they're facing, because how it's going to roll out and everything else. Have you ever had
sometimes
no, go ahead.
that you're definitely right on that, but I'll tell you what, like you just said, that this one wrestler went the other way. Every wrestler is different, and some guys are trained different than the others. And so you really never know where and when someone's going to go. As much as you think you do, there's no telling, especially if someone's moving real fast. You got a real quick guy in the ring, he's liable to go whichever way he wants to.
That's true. I guess I've been fortunate. I like I said, I kind of try to anticipate what they're going to do. I don't like to go over, unless there's like a major spot or something like that. I don't really like to go over what they're doing in the match too much with them, because if there's any hesitation on my part, you know what I mean? It destroys the credibility of the match, you know. So, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but referee Aubrey, not last week on AEW, but the week before, was refereeing. What's her name? It was for the TBS title. Anyway, she knows that it wasn't the finish, and she should have counted the 3 count, and it actually showed her stop the count before the girl kicked out.
I seen
And
that.
Oh
I seen
no.
that. Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty bad. Once again, it's better for me because I can always bring my hand down and you can kick out and I can wave it off and say, no, my hand hit, but the shoulder was up. You know what I mean? There's always things that you can do to change if you screw up and count a 3 count, which I've done once. You know, I counted the 3 count. I actually had to count a 3 count, and I accidentally hit 3 when the dude's shoulder got up, but I couldn't pull the hand up, you know, back fast enough. Has that ever happened to you? Where you hit the 3 count and everybody thinks that, you know, dude won, you have to wave it off, you know, because his shoulder was up.
Right.
Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened to you?
No, it hasn't happened to me actually. We did some training spots, kind of anticipating for stuff like that. But no, fortunate again, it hasn't happened yet. So
At one time, it was one of those things though. You know, I came down and the shoulder popped up right as the hand was down, and I had to wave it off.
waved it off.
There's I'm trying to think of any kind of here's one. Has anybody ever been injured during one of your matches?
Has anyone ever been injured in my matches? No, not nothing serious. Nope. Everything's been pretty safe. Everyone's been really good about working with each other and taking care of each other.
I had
Cool.
one. I had a guy. It was supposed to be the finish of the match. He goes up to do a moonsault, and the monster is supposed to catch him and do his finisher out of it. The guy was, before he went up to do the moonsault, he called it. He said, "Hey, let's take it home a little bit early. I'm gassed." And I'm like, "Well, why not just have him stop you on the ropes, grab you, finisher 1, 2, 3?" He's like, "No, I can do the moonsault." So they work their way up. He goes up to do the moonsault. He jumps. He doesn't get enough height. He jumps sideways over to the side to where nobody was to catch him. And I mean, he came straight down, like, pow, right on his face and
Oh
his head.
wow. Wow.
And I made the guy, I was like, pin him 1, 2, 3. I covered, you know, and immediately, you know, put the sign up and had waved people over and stuff. He was
Kind of cutting. You're cutting out. You're going in and out on me. I'm trying to turn my Wi-Fi off and see if that helps. I'm just hearing bits and pieces of you.
I'm sorry. He long story short, he was concussed. He came basically down on his face, and that was like probably the only time that I ever saw anybody severely injured, especially in my match. At anybody's matches around here, that's the first time I've ever, and it was my match, of course. So I was just like, oh my God. Fortunately, he was okay. Everything was good. Matter of fact, he wrestled here a couple of weeks back, and I spoke to him, and I was like, "Man, you know, I'm glad you're okay. Everything." He's like, "Yeah, man." He said, "I don't remember talking to you after the matches." He's like, "I don't remember talking to you during," because he's the one who said pin me, and as soon as he said pin me, I was like, count 1, 2, 3, and then put the sign up, and he was conscious up to that point, and then after we pinned him, he took the pin. He was out.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, that was pretty scary. And
That is scary. I hate to hear that.
I want to remind viewers on Facebook, if you're watching, be sure to click on the StreamYard link so that you're and allow StreamYard to show your name so we can give you credit. I know who this is, by the way, because I had to prove it. But or you could go over to YouTube, the YouTube channel, and watch and comment on there also. We're if you're just joining us, we're interviewing referee Ryan Martin, professional wrestling referee. Andy,
Yes.
your turn.
Okay. Just curious, in your refereeing career, was there ever a moment just shocked the hell out of you?
That what? Repeat that. I'm getting bits and pieces. I'm sorry.
No problem. I was just wondering, in your refereeing career so far, has there been anything that's happened that just shocked the hell out of you?
You know, this one time, they did a spot that wasn't. They ran a spot that wasn't planned, and they got outside the ring and got in the crowd, and I really thought it was serious for a second. These guys did such a good job at doing this. This heel work was just amazing. It was a tag team match, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought it was real. I was really trying to break it up, and it shocked me. It shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know. And finally, they brought it back in the ring, and I was like, is everything okay? Is you guys good? And like, yeah, we're good. Just go with it. And I was like, all right.
That's great.
I got a kind of a funny question. You could either one of you could do answer this, but I'm going to ask you. You guys come out to a certain theme music, or just come out like? Do they play any kind of
music?
Yeah,
Referees.
My promotion, my home promotion doesn't.
None
I mean,
of the
do they
ones-
say welcome referee so and so, or something like
Now,
that?
like I get announced, like referee Jim Lawrence, is your referee for the match. But no, we don't get any special music, and I really wouldn't want any anyway, because I think it's the referee, and this is just me. I can't speak for everybody else, but I think the referee is one of those things you don't need to be seen until it's time.
Yeah,
And I think when you draw attention away from the match, because you're part of the match, your job because you got to remember this is a dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got two guys in there, but there's three people in this dance. Two of them are doing most of the dance moves. The third guy that is there just kind of making it look legit. And the thing is like, I would never ever want to draw any kind of attention towards me anyway, because that's not what my job is.
Yeah, I got another question. What's the biggest match you've refereed, like attendance wise? Like
What's
crowd
the biggest attendance wise? About 350.
Not bad.
Cool.
I would say, I don't know, however many was at the Wayne County Fair, probably a sizable crowd of about 350 to 500 at that moment in time. But you got to think there was like rides and everything else going on. I couldn't tell you how many people were actually like watching us that wasn't seated around us. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that's probably the biggest that I was ever in front of too. It was about 350, 400, 500 max. I honestly, I couldn't say.
Ryan, do you either get more hyped up or more nervous when you're involved in a title match as opposed to just a regular match?
I actually find out you would think that, but it's actually the opposite for me, because I realize when I'm working title matches that most of the wrestlers are either vet, or in my case, they've been vets and have been a lot better to talk me through or work with me on things. They take a lot of the stress and the nerves off of me, actually. I found with the title matches, which is completely opposite of what you think. But
it's
that's
actually
just
surprising,
what I've found out and through my time so far.
That's actually surprising. Yeah, I would think it'd be the other way around.
Honestly, it's the same way for me, because like you said, you've got vets in there, and these guys have been doing it for however many years, and it's just second nature to them. And the thing is like, if they're cool, you'll be cool. If you got one of these guys that gets a little bit high strung about things or something like that, that can, don't screw up the spot, blah 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 blah, whatever. There are guys that are like that, but no, for the most part, like, I don't know about you. What kind of matches are fun for you to do? I personally like doing tag matches. I love, turning my back on the heels and letting the fans get like, just mad at me because I'm not seeing anybody cheat. You know what I mean? I love doing that.
I'm not sure he heard you.
I'm having trouble
there
here.
you
Give me just 1 second, all right?
Oh, you're
Okay.
good.
All right.
It sounds like you guys are underwater. Let me go do something. Hold 1 second.
Now, Richard, before the show, told me that he could barely hear me. How am I sound to you other guys?
Oh, you're clear as
Okay.
Sound
hell.
good.
Yeah,
Sound
yeah,
good,
you're
Mark.
clear. Yeah.
All right. Oh, Gianni?
Gianni.
And I'm pretty sure this is Mark Laverty. So Mark or Cuddles or what do you want to go by tonight?
Hi,
Um,
Facebook user.
yeah, hi, Facebook user.
That's an original
That's our
name.
good friend, Facebook user. The warden is
Hey,
on the
hey.
line. That's got to be Laverty. He knows the warden. Yeah, Mark, if you'll go back and click on the stream, click out of here and click on the StreamYard link and click on the thing that says allow your name to show up. We'll see your name. Yeah, it's Cuddles. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or go to Facebook.
Hadn't talked to him a long time.
/StreamYard.
It's been a couple of years since I talked to him. So,
Yeah.
but for anybody just joining us, we're sitting in talking to referee Ryan Martin from McAlester, Oklahoma. He's from my home state, opposite corner of the state from me, or opposite side of the state from me, and he's trying to work out some audio issues. While we're waiting on him to work that out, last week we had or I had an auction pop up on eBay. Did a search for this. It finally popped up on me, and I made an offer on this, and it was accepted. So I paid for it, and it's shipping out today. Should be here on Monday. So
Oh, wow.
just something I needed was another Dome Globe.
I should have me a new belt day next week
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Everybody always needs a new dome globe. What are you talking about? I have
I
You
know
can never
it.
have. You can never have too many.
And I'm
exactly.
getting ready to get the Fandu version out of layaway. So
Yeah,
Mark
man.
just told
Yeah.
me he's getting a big silver. Now he's making me want one. I ordered 3 belts
Yeah, I got-
already.
well, I ordered that back in September, so it's finally coming. It's on its way. So also, I forgot to mention at the top of the show because we have the guest is we are very close to. We were within 40 of having 1,000 members, and when we get 1,000 members, we're going to have a giveaway for this belt right here. And I also have one just like it for sale, which is right here. Whoops, hold on. Let me go full screen real quick, and Ryan, we'll get right back to you.
No problem.
Here it is. Okay. NWA television title. The plates were done by our sponsor, which I forgot to mention at the top of the show, Unique Spirit. I'll plug them again at the top of the second hour. And the leather was done by me. Mark Leather, of course. Got the blue backing.
Nice.
This is the one that's for sale, actually. This is also the giveaway belt, which has a little bit different tooling around the edges, just a little bit. That's the only difference. But I have this one for sale for $300 shipped. So I've been trying to get this to a good home. It's been sitting here collecting dust on my. I'll clean it before I ship it, but it really needs to go to a good home. It's a really nice belt, really nice place. Unique does some really good work. So, and if you order from him, tell him that Mark Leather sent you. Okay, let me get back to. Let me get off the full screen here. We'll get back to Ryan. Okay, where were we? I'm sorry.
I was. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
what I've done is I actually switched phones. So I'm using a phone and I'm doing audio through another phone.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was asking is, well,
We lost him.
What's up, MTA? We got MTA on there.
Yeah, we lost him. Technical difficulty. Oh, wait. Here you go. Oh, did he come back on? Yeah, there he is. Okay, here we go. There we go.
All right.
All right. Can you hear us now?
I can.
Okay.
what I was asking earlier is, what's your favorite type of match to work?
My favorite type of match. You know, I like triple threat match. Those are pretty cool. Always
Those-
exciting.
I like those because those are pretty much you get it's kind of a day off because they can there's no rules. You don't have to count them out. There's no disqualification. You just have to stand back, stand out of the way, wait for their spot to happen and do the 3 count.
Right.
I like tag team matches. I love getting yelled at by the kids because, I'm feeding my back to the heels and they're doing their dirty heel crap behind me. And, there's nothing better than that. Because I don't know. I just like the tag team matches, like I said, because the fans, they get a little bit involved, and I like that. It's fun when the kids are yelling at you.
A lot
"Oh,
more
it's cheating."
fast paced.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, when you're not refereeing a match and you're sitting towards the back or wherever you guys sit while the other refs do their job, do you find yourself marking out to other wrestlers?
I Not really yet. I mean, I haven't worked with anyone big enough to get me there, but I'm sure at some point I will.
Very cool.
Yeah, I still mark out. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna look, man. I've been training with Shane Douglas, so seeing people like Sandman and stuff like that, I see them on
Oh,
occasion
dude,
a lot.
I would mark out if I was watching them, though. That's for sure.
And like one day I'm standing there, and this is when my leg was broken, but I'm still there at training and stuff, and everybody's like, "Why do you keep coming here?" It's like, well, because there's always somebody cool coming through the door. Well, one of the trainees, and he's new. He's like barely 20 years old, and he has no clue about anything post 2010 or pre 2010. So and he's in there, and he actually got to lock up with the Sandman, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, and it's not even like registering on this kid's face, and I'm just like, dude, you just locked up with the Sandman. I was like, that's former ECW World Heavyweight Champion, dude. Come on, man. And but yeah, I still mark out. I mean, it doesn't matter who walks in the door or what seminar I'm taking or whatever. You got if you're not having fun, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. And people who use the word mark. Well, I'll say this: I'm probably the biggest mark in the business because I'm such a mark. I got into the business.
There you go. Same. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how big of a mark I am. But yeah, it never ever stops. Like, I worked the show. One of my first matches with a real, big name was Rhino.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I'm nervous. Because, this guy's been on WWE TV, ECW. He's been everywhere, Impact, everywhere. And, I'm nervous, and like, he's just sitting there, and like the first thing he says is, "Hey man, relax." He said, "You want to know something funny?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I gotta piss really bad." And I just that just broke the ice. You know what I mean?
There you go.
"Okay, we're good, man. We're good."
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, you still mark out. There's like, at least I do, and I don't think there will ever be a time that I won't. And if that time ever comes, then it's probably time for me to get out of the business.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to have fun no matter what. At the end of the day, you got a job to do, but you also have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun.
Oh, it's a blast, man.
It is.
I try to tell people, they're like, I used to play music, and I did it from the time I was about 13 years old in marching band all the way up. I mean, been on tour, played drums in some hard rock, heavy metal, punk rock bands.
I'm a drummer also.
Really?
Yes, I sure am. Been in and
Wow.
out of bands and play the drums at my church.
Really, man? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's great, man. Small world. This is a small world. This is cool. Yeah, man. I marched in junior high and high school. I should have went to college because I actually had a scholarship to go, but I was making good money. I'd already started working and was making decent money at the time, and I wanted to be in my own rock band and all that. I had to quit playing drums because I have arthritis, and it's hard for me to hold the sticks for long periods of time. And one day, my buddy, he's like, "Hey, man, my son's training to be a wrestler. You should come down here and watch him train." I put him off. And finally, I'm like, "All right, man, I'll go with you. Leave, pick me up whatever time in the morning because I don't know where the hell I'm going." Next thing I know, I'm in there, and they're like, "Man, we need somebody to referee." And my buddy's like pushing me. He just kind of nudges me, pushes me forward. And one of the trainers is like, "Hey, man, come on, you can ref. We don't care." And I got up there, and they were like, "Man, you're actually good at this. Have you ever done this before?" And I was like, "No, but I've watched wrestling my whole life." You know what I mean? And at that point in time, I'd been out of playing music for about 3 years. And this was like my music was everything. And then I couldn't do it anymore. And then like when that door closed, wrestling opened up. You know what I mean? And it was just one of those things that was very, very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to
That
say
old
it.
cliche, when one door closes, another one opens.
Just about to
Exactly,
say
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Ryan, have you ever had wrestlers try to rib you during a match?
Man, I felt like at one point, when I was doing this, when I did the 5 count, I think he purposely kind of did that, tried to sandbag me, because he knows darn well I was at 4, and I tried to get between them, and I was like, hey, like I was giving him clear signs, and he deliberately did not get down, so I called the 5.
I've been fortunate to where I've not had to do that, other than just the 3 count, and that caused a little bit of an uproar. But that was on them. I hope I don't ever have to do that. But at the same time, I've learned in a short time that especially on the indie guys that haven't really been anywhere or done anything. And I don't want to sound down on them or anything like that, but the guys that haven't wrestled for very long on the indie scene, the guys that only got a couple years in, it's not like they intentionally try to bury you, but they're so into their gimmick or so into trying to get their gimmick over that they're kind of like, screw the referee. And I've seen it happen. It's never happened to me. Knock on wood. I hope I never have to. But yeah, I will. I make it very clear before each show. Like, please don't let me see you cheat until it's time for me to see you cheat. Please don't let me, don't make me have to disqualify you because, don't bury me.
Yeah.
Don't throw your heat on me because you don't want. They don't pay to see the referee catch heat. They pay to see the heel catch the heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you usually get along with the wrestlers you perform with? Or have you ever had an issue with a wrestler?
No, I get along with just about everybody really good. A lot of us, we work the same shows multiple times, so a lot of familiar faces, and everyone's really cool. I had this one guy one time. He was took his gimmick a little too far, in my opinion. He was just kind of rude, and I touched him. I ended up putting my hand on his chest, like, "Hey, back up," and he was like, "Don't effing touch me." And he was serious about it, and I was like, "Come on now." I said, "Get out of my ring." So I said, "Get out of my ring." And he said, "Whose ring?" And this, like, under his breath, like, not to the crowd, but to me. He said, "Whose ring?" He said, "I'll make you think that when we get backstage." And we went backstage. I was like, "Hey, man, like, I don't know what that was about, but, like, apologize if I disrespected you or something." He goes, "1, don't touch me. 2, it's not your ring." And I was like, "Okay, all right." But that was the only time. And after talking to more people, he's not the most liked in the business either. So
Wonder why.
I wasn't anything, I think, on me at that point. I've heard a lot of pretty bad stories about the guy.
Yeah, there's people like that. I've never had to deal with that, but I'm also the kind, like, I'm not going to apologize. If you're being a dick, I'll tell you that you're being a dick. You know what I mean? You're not going to threaten me in the backstage. Oh, you're going to take me backstage? No, you're going to do it here. I'll shoot on somebody quick in the ring. If you're going to threaten me in the ring, then I'll be the referee that whoops your ass in front of the whole crowd.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want to be that guy. I've never had to be that guy,
and I wanted to be like that. And it was my first time at this promotion, and I just didn't want to cause any problems. I didn't want to step on any toes usually that is more like my character, is to be like that, be like, "Hey, man, don't mess with me." But I just feel like it was not my time and my place to do it right there,
I don't know what it's like where you're at. I do know what it's like here. A good referee is a very, very valuable commodity.
Definitely.
I don't know, how it is out where you're at. I'm told that around here that a good referee few and far between, and I get a lot of compliments, and I appreciate every one of those. At the same time, know your worth. And if somebody gives you issues that works for a certain promotion, and the promoter, you go to the promoter and you say, "Hey, man, this guy's doing whatever," you can continue to book him. That's fine. I won't be back, but good luck finding another referee, because believe me, I'll make it known. And I'm getting ready to go to work for a new company this weekend, and I've already heard some, I won't say horror stories, but I've heard some negativity. But I hear that about every promotion. You know what I mean? Certain people get, oh, he ripped me off, this promoter. Well, that's not entirely true. Whatever, you know what I mean? It's not none of my business. But I've come to the conclusion that I don't have to work for all these promotions. I can go, I don't have a problem getting jobs at other promotions. I can pick and choose who I want to, and don't think that you can't do that either. So don't feel like that you have to take crap from a certain wrestler or promoter or whatever. I've honestly, I've even been told that certain promoters get mad if you go to work for another certain promoter because they don't get along, even though you're, basically a contract laborer.
Yeah, for sure. That's work for somebody like that personally. That's just you're there to do your job. I mean, mark out a little, like we say, having fun, but you can't knock on someone for going to a different company just because promoters know. I mean,
well, I mean, I do plumbing, and if I just plumb one house, that's all the money I'm ever going to make. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I have to plumb other houses to keep making money.
Sure.
And that's the way, as a contracted laborer, because that's what we are. We have to look at it like that. But yeah, there's a promoter here. I've not yet worked for him yet. And once again, I would like to. I'm open to work for everybody. I'm one of those cats that's like, hey, you got to, ring. I'll work it. If the price is right. I haven't done the death match thing yet. I'm kind of nervous about that, but
I just had something in my hand. I put it down.
Andy, you've been quiet for a little bit. You got any more questions?
I was just wondering, have you met any bigger names in the business in your career so far?
Not yet, man. Not yet. Well, I have, as a fan, not working, I've met Randy Orton and the Spirit Squad. And Randy Orton, that was a super pleasure to meet him, man. He was such a awesome, respectful, all-around guy. And and at the time he was heel, and just completely opposite of what I thought he was going to be. And he said, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, well, I want to be a wrestler, or I want to be a baseball player. And he said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, you try to be a baseball player, and if that don't work out, then go ahead and be a wrestler. He said, wrestling's a hard life. And I didn't understand that at the time. I was still pretty young. And so I did play some baseball, and then decided that wasn't what I want to do. And so the opportunity came along where I could get to be in the wrestling business, and that's what I did. So
yeah, that's just so neat when there's somebody you think's a total hard ass or a jerk, and then they turn out to be the most wonderful person when you meet them.
Absolutely.
Took
me by surprise.
To piggyback off of Andy's question, do you have aspirations to go up to a higher level, like to a AEW or Impact or WWE, or are you content where you're at?
Oh, no, of course. I want to keep going, and as far as I can, as long as I can go. That's actually the main reason I chose to do refereeing instead of being a wrestler, was career longevity. I didn't want to do something where I was going to wear my body out as fast, and I wanted to do anything I could to be in this business as long as I could and get as far as I could and be in there.
Cool.
WWE, of course, is always a dream. I mean, it's WWE, but I'd like to get over to Japan sometimes and try out New Japan or Ring of Honor, Impact. I'm a huge Impact fan, always have been. But AEW, yeah, I feel like for me, anyways, if you're not in it to get to the top, I mean, I understand why people don't want to go to the top. It makes perfect sense that why they're content in the indies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, I want to make it to the top, and I want to be the best I can and get there as far as I can.
Excellent.
Sure. Yeah.
You're young. You got time.
Right.
yeah,
You got time.
yeah, definitely take advantage of the time you have. I got into it a little bit late, so I'm too old for WWE. I'm too well. We're both too white and too male for AEW right now. Trust me on this. I actually talked with QT Marshall and did a seminar with him, and I was the only referee there, so I got a lot of work. And he basically came up to me. He said, "Man," he said, "I'd offer you a job." He said, "But we're looking for minorities and women right now."
Right.
And I was just like, man, I was like, no, I was like, I understand, but I mean, you got to look at their roster. All their referees are male except for one, and all of them are white.
Sure.
You know, so I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, that
need more
makes sense.
diversity. For me, ultimately, my goal would be the NWA, just because I'm an old dude, and that's
Absolutely.
that. You know, that's what I watched, and that would be, you know, and they seem to like the older guys anyway, so that's probably where I would fit in at my age anyway.
Tire irons and waffles. Waffles,
Waffles
tire.
and tire irons, right? Waffles and tire irons.
Yeah.
Do you have
Nothing
do you
wrong
have
with
a
that, though.
plan to move on up, or you working on a plan?
It's a great question. I don't necessarily have a plan right now. I'm just trying to get out of state as much as I can, and any opportunity, any kind of door that comes my way, I'm going to take it. Networking is really big in this business, is getting
Yes.
to know some people. So right now, I'm just trying to get my name around and meet as many people as I can, work at as many places as I can, and hopefully, through one of those ventures, a door will open. I can have the opportunity to go somewhere else.
Man, just keep working, keep doing it, and always and never ever like think that you've reached the point to where you've gotten to be the best that you can be. 'Cause
Oh,
there's always
absolutely.
some, you know what I mean? I'm almost I'll be 49 this year, and I'm just getting into this business too. Okay, I'm getting it the sun's setting on me already. You know what I mean? So my time is very, very short. I don't have a whole lot of time to get to where I want to go. So I'm resigned to the fact that I may never ever get to quote unquote make it. But don't think for one heartbeat that I'm not going to put every ounce of energy going forward to get there, because I'm going to. And at the end of the day, we'll just measure the distance that I get to travel, on my terms. You know
Sure.
what I mean? And I hope that you do get to do all this stuff, because, man, you're young and you've got nothing but growth ahead of you, man. So just stick with it. Don't get jaded, man. Don't let these promoters or some of these guys, beat you down, over money or things like that, because you can always, and I don't know how big I live in West Virginia. We're a really small population, and I'm not struggling for referee jobs around here. And in a state as big as yours, with a population size as yours, it shouldn't be hard for you to go. And you're on the eastern part of the country, so
Yeah.
you can go into like Missouri and Arkansas and places like that. Yeah, man. World's your oyster, man. Just make yourself available. One piece of advice I can try to give you: attend as many seminars as you can. All it does, it pads your stats. Your resume looks better because of it, and it does allow you to network, because you get emails. I've got QT Marshall's email address. You know what I mean? I've got Shane Douglas's email address, and well, that's because I go to a school, but or I work at a school now. I don't go to a school anymore, but I work there, and it's, I don't know. That's really the only advice I can give you, man. Just don't, when it starts getting rough, just keep going forward. Just because there's going to be times, especially if you get injured. I broke my leg, and it caused me to question a few things, like, am I really built for this and all that? And half a second later, I was like, hell yeah, I'm built for this. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give up on this. Never in a million years. I'll die in the ring. That's what's going to happen. But, man, dude, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That's the best advice. And attend all the seminars, because that is your networking. You can't do that enough.
Sure. Well, that's great advice, man. And I really appreciate that, and definitely take it to heart. As far as, learning, I never want to quit learning. I know that you can never learn enough, I mean, you can never stop learning in this business. There's always somebody else or something else that you can take and learn from, for sure, and I look forward to continuing to learn. I don't want to know everything. I want to be open and coachable, and I just think that's so important. And again, yeah, I appreciate what you said, and I thank you. And I same to you. I hope you go as far as you want to go and get to NWA.
Appreciate it, brother.
Hey, you never know. You could be refereeing the match, and somebody's in the audience and said, I seen this kid
Exactly.
ref this match.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
And they can say, hey, we want you to come over here and try out.
Honestly,
Right.
that's how I got a lot of my gigs, was because promoters were showing it up at other shows. And after the show, they'd come up, hey, I'm so-and-so with ICS, or I'm so and so with Mega Pro. I'm so and so with, and it's just like, hey, do you? I got a show on the 25th. Do you want to come work it? Of course, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how it
Uh,
was for me.
And who knows? There may be a promoter watching this show. We can hope anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It could happen.
definitely.
It could
hire us
happen.
both. Like you got
Hey,
two good refs,
We,
man.
we got a guy watching from Malaysia. He's not in the business, but that just shows you how far-reaching the show is.
Wow.
He may be
That's
the only
impressive.
one outside this country watching, but
You never know.
I know he's
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
because he commented earlier.
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and this guy right here, he knows people. Rusty,
Hey, Rusty.
Rusty Mill.
he's
there.
he's
What's
been
up,
he's been
man?
around some, and you may have heard of him, but yeah, he's big in
The more you do, the better you get, Rusty says.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen to that.
And you got passion. I love your passion, and as long as you keep that passion, that fire inside you, you'll go a long way. I think so.
Well, I appreciate
Just
it
never
for
give up.
sure.
Oh, definitely.
If you're joining us late, we are interviewing referee Ryan Martin from McAlester, Oklahoma. You mentioned the promotions you work for, but geographically, where are those promotions based? I mean, how far do you have to travel to work?
They're all in the state of Oklahoma. One is actually going to start picking up in Arkansas, so I will be traveling to Arkansas, and that's Tornado Wrestling Alliance.
Okay.
But so far, it's McAlester, Bristow, Seminole, and Poto. So those are all within about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive max. So not local, but they're not too far out of the way either.
Okay. This is our Malaysian viewer, by the way. It's close to 11 o'clock in the morning in Malaysia. We call him Noor. He goes by Noor also. So
Thanks for watching, Nora, and I appreciate that.
always love having Nora watching the show.
What's the farthest you've ever traveled for a show?
It's been about 3 hours.
I think the furthest I ever went, it's about 4 or 5 hours. I went to Indiana from
Cool.
Charleston, West Virginia. So that was, I did it for Battle on the Border Wrestling, which actually is a really good promotion. If you get a chance, send them. If you can find them on Facebook or whatever, send them your resume and stuff. They're really good to work for.
Did you have to get licensed in Indiana?
No. Indiana and Ohio are both unlicensed. Kentucky, Virginia, and Maryland all around me has licensing. And I think South Carolina, but pretty much everybody else on the East Coast is. I'm sure New York. I haven't made it that far, but I don't really think I'm ever going to go that far.
You never know, Jim. You never know.
Oh, I'd like to. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I don't have any people. I'm sure they have a lot of referees in New York that they can call on locally than paying, me however much to drive all the way up there.
Vince
they
McMahon
really-
may be watching the show. He's going, I want that guy.
That's good.
Yeah, I'd love to make
They
it
could
up
have a
to-
celebrity steel cage match and want you to be the referee.
Yeah.
There you
I'd
see,
love to make
Rusty
up to
said, "Never
Ohio
say
area.
never."
Yeah. Never say never. Rusty. There's a Rustyism right there. Never say never.
Some rusty.
It's also a James Bond movie.
Sean
No,
Connery came back for that. Ha ha.
I can hear Vince McMahon saying, "That's the new Pat Patterson right there. I want that guy." We like to have fun on this show.
I like that kid right there.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna work.
fired.
Oh man.
Andy, any more questions? This show's kind of coming apart at the seams.
I got a question for you. Do you have a preference on the ring size when you work?
I actually like the bigger rings. I like to work in 18s.
See, the biggest I've ever worked in was an 18. I actually like the 16. I prefer a
Really?
smaller ring. For me, I think it just makes the guys look bigger.
Sure.
When they're in a bigger ring, especially if you get some of the smaller guys in there, it makes them look really tiny. We were working a show in Beckley, West Virginia, and we had a guy on the show, and he was high flyer, but he probably weighed $140, soaking wet, wearing boots. And in that big ring, it just looked, he looked so small. And I felt bad because even the crowd was like telling him to eat a sandwich and stuff.
That's good.
But I mean, if you're in the business, you better have thick skin, because that's, they're going to yell stuff at you. They're going to throw things at you, especially if you do your job right. They're going to want to kill you.
I've learned that. I've learned that the hard way, and I wasn't really expecting that, but I get a lot of the left. Come on, ref. What are you doing? Why are you not looking? Come on, turn around, ref. What the heck? Where are your eyes at?
Where's your glasses at, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they're cheating every time you turn around, man.
Right.
Just be glad you weren't a referee back in the 80s when little old women and little old men were sitting there cussing
Oh
at
yeah,
you.
they beat
Oh,
you
yeah.
over the head with their cane or something.
Oh, they were awful, yeah. There was a guy in world class, an old man that wore glasses, and he'd get up there, he'd shake his finger in Terry Gordy's face. He wasn't scared of nothing.
Like honestly, like the kids are like the worst. They get so mad at me because the baby face is trying to run in and save his partner. I got to push the baby face out because that's the dude I'm catching cheating.
Yeah.
He's coming in, he's breaking the rules. I got to, ref, why can't you see they're cheating? You can't see. And I'm, of course, I've got to feed him, and then when he gets out of the ring, that's the cue. You turn up. Well, they didn't cheat. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Now, do you try to play? Do any of your promoters have they asked you to do a baby face or heel thing in any of your matches?
Not really yet. But we have talked about doing that in the future some. But for the most part, they would try to keep me babyface.
Okay, let me say this now. Unless you plan on leaving that promotion and never coming back, don't, because it'll destroy your credibility.
Okay, sure.
I saw it happen to somebody, and now he's like struggling. It's not that he's struggling to get work. It's just the fans don't forget, because local fans go to all the shows.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it kind of ruined his rep. So I've pretty much checked that one out, unless I plan on never working for that promotion again.
Right.
Then that's one I won't do. And I don't do death matches. I'm kind of paranoid about the whole blood spray, HIV, and hepatitis.
Don't want to get involved in any of that. No, I like watching them, but don't want to be in one.
Yeah, man. And the thing is too, is like these guys can accidentally cut something and die.
Yeah, and it's on your hands.
Yeah, and you've got to be the dude that tries to stop everything from happening and stop the blood and all that stuff. Once again, I'm so paranoid about. And I read about this, and it happened in Indiana, if I can speak properly. They had a death match show, and one of the guys that was on the show tested positive for HIV because they were using the light bulbs, the light tubes and stuff, and spray and stuff like that. Everybody that attended that show, because of the blood particles in the air, had to go get HIV tested.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That right there was enough. Just reading it was enough for me to go, no, I'm never going to do that.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever heard of any. Of course, everybody's heard of Nick Cage and Nick Cage and Madman Pondo runs runs shows here in West Virginia. And Madman Pondo is a great dude, man. I love him. I have nothing bad to say about the cat, because honestly, he's one of the hardest working guys in the business as far as I know. But I won't work one of his shows because of that situation. Plus, those things break. Particles of glass fly through the air. That you breathe that dust in, that causes cancer. And I give those guys credit because they're tough. They're rolling around in it. They're getting cut up and bleeding and everything. But I can't do it.
Right. Yeah, they're so tough. I can't even, just watching it, I'm like, I love wrestling, but god dang, I don't know if I want to do all that.
Yeah, it's each their own, you know what I mean? If that's what they like doing, then more power to them.
Right.
Oh yeah, I won't put down what they do, because they're over with the fans that enjoy that.
Sure.
As far as like for me working it, it's just I can't take that chance, especially after reading that and knowing that those people. Now definitely. I don't know, because nobody releases the results of their tests,
right?
So we don't know how many of those people actually ended up having HIV or not. but the fact that everybody then they had to put it in the newspaper because it was a
Good night.
public health hazard that they had to go, get checked, and that's enough for me to say, you know what, and it's not, once again, it's not a knock against the guys who do it. It's just not for me.
Absolutely, for
Mhm.
sure.
Because
Well,
don't get me wrong, I've watched every Stranglemania that ICP put out before they did the JCW stuff, and I love all the Japanese hardcore, the FMW stuff, and ECW whenever they would get wild with a barbed wire match or something.
Well, this
But-
brings us to the top of hour number 2, and I was remiss in doing this earlier because we have a guest, but just want to remind everyone that this show is sponsored by Mark Leather, Championship Belt Releathering for all your releathering needs, and by Unique Spirit, who made the belt that's going to be involved in the giveaway. They do good stuff here, and that
Excellent.
brings me to do you guys have any other questions for Ryan as far as his career or anything like that?
I think we pretty much asked him a lot of questions. I mean,
I think we've inundated him.
Yeah.
I do have one question because, and it's key to it's keyed on this show. This show is usually for people who collect belts, and I don't know. I'd love to have one, but got to be behind me.
me too.
Yeah. Ryan, do you own any replica belts, or have you ever had any interest in collecting replica belts?
So I can't wait to get another one. I owned the John Cena U.S. spinner belt when I was
Oh,
littler.
man.
Oh,
Had
wow.
that.
Yeah,
I
I have
ended up
that
selling
one.
it to
I
a
love
little
it.
kid. It was a lady worked for my mom, and he got big into wrestling, and he was big John Cena this, and so I was like, all right, I'll go ahead, and he wanted it, and so I just went ahead and sold it to him. Help anything for the kids, man. I was make the kids happy. It's my thing.
There
so,
you go, man.
but I want the IC belt really bad. The
Intercontinental.
either the Ruthless Aggression or the Attitude Era, but I want that Intercontinental belt. That's the belt I want for some reason. That's my candy right there. So
Now,
I
let me
will
ask you a
definitely get that
question.
soon.
Is it the block logo or is it the Attitude Aggression version you said, right?
Scratch logo.
I don't know, the circular plate with
Oh, the oval.
Oh, the oval.
Oh,
The
yeah.
oval
Yeah.
IC, yeah.
Oh,
that's the
funny.
one.
Yeah.
I want
Purple
that
or
belt
black
bad.
leather?
Probably black. But yeah, probably black. Purple would be cool though. Purple would be cool.
There you go.
Johnny, he already answered that question. GNN strikes again. Andy has a belt for sale. That's what Gianni says.
Ha ha ha, Johnny.
No, you can't get his V4.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Ryan, you're about to see some magic here. Oh, isn't that
There it
beautiful?
is. That's beautiful. I sure like that.
I
We
I
can
sure
hook you
like
up.
that.
We can hook you up.
That's
Maybe not
nice.
with that one, but
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure when I'm ready to get one. I got the alligator on the back. All right.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I've re-leathered a few spinner belts. The regular spinner, they're pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got a custom John
Rusty going.
Zener spinner. I got it. It's like a green with an orange crocodile backing.
Oh, I seen it. Yeah, yeah.
Good night,
Ru-
Rusty.
Rusty's going to Florida next week. Sunny Florida.
All right. What part of Florida?
Yeah, what part of Florida? You might run to Richard. Hope you run to Richard, not the warden.
No, you don't want to run into the warden.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the people watch the show are collectors, and we talk wrestling too. That's why we have you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I take it you grew up watching WWE. You're young. Me and Andy are the two older guys in the group.
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
grew up
that's
with
that's
WWE.
just south of me, man. That's cool.
No, I grew up watching World Class and Georgia Championship Wrestling, which is probably before you were born.
Yeah.
Andy, I forgot what Andy watched.
WWE, NWA.
NWA, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it all. I was born in '75. My birthday is just around the corner. But I've watched everything and anything. I'm more watching the classic stuff. Definitely. Mark's got me into making my start of my plastic collection. I got 3 belts on the way. I got two classics already. And yeah, we just do this as a hobby. We talk about, our love for our love for professional wrestling, and we kind of get this camaraderie, and we meet so many different people from all over the place.
Sure.
I have
Well,
no
yeah,
clue what
it's
that's
great
about.
time being on. I appreciate it, and
We're glad to have you on.
I love talking belts and stuff too. So
Yeah, we saw the birth of pro wrestling. Everybody's showing off their belts. I'm gonna show one. This is my I want to call it my crown jewel, but it's not. It's my Grail belt. The crown jewel's that big gold, but this is mine.
mm,
This is the one. This is the very first belt I ever saw on TV. Ric Flair had it. He had just won it, and I
I got
wanted
one of
one.
those somewhere.
I got two of them. I got a mini version, and I got one on order, two on order, and then that toy belt I showed earlier.
so that's actually the reason I want the Intercontinental belt. Was I was actually at Unforgiven in 2005 when Ric Flair won the Intercontinental Championship against Carlito. I was fourth
Oh.
row there with my dad and my grandpa. So when
Oh,
he
wow.
won that really is actually why that's my favorite title.
Wow,
That's
and
cool.
we all know what what belt is Jim's favorite.
Yeah, we're not going to make any secrets.
I think it's an NWA Dome Globe.
And what's funny, he's subtle about it.
subtle.
He's so subtle about it.
What are you talking about? It's part of his clothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's like everywhere I go, people are like, "That's Mr. NWA," and I'm like, "Not yet, but hopefully one day."
Yeah, Nathan's the one that got me Ryan. I want to thank Nathan Hardester for this.
Absolutely, thanks, Nathan.
Awesome.
We had to work at it, but we got it.
Hey, I'm
So,
here. I'm here.
He's a hot commodity.
I got one quick question. What actually made you want to become a referee even more?
I find that good referees are hard to find. There's a lot of them. Not all of them are good at what they do. Not saying they're not good, but some are. You can say some are better than others. But I find that there's a good niche for good referees anywhere you go, and the career longevity thing really throws me back to my point. Is I just want to be in the business as long as I can, and I feel like being a referee is probably my best with my skills and assets. I think that's my best way of getting there.
Oh, definitely. You can be a
I would-
veteran. Yeah.
Do what?
I said you can become a veteran of the business as well.
Yeah, I would
before you
love
know it.
that. That's the goal. My middle name's Earl, so I'm a big Hebner fan, obviously.
I was going to
too.
bring up the Hebners. Yeah.
Cool.
I was going to hit you with the question: Who are your influences? Who was your guy? Who's the
I actually like Charles Robinson.
okay?
Oh,
That's
Little
who I
H.
grew up
Little
watching
H.
a little of my time. Yeah, Little H and Little Flair. That's who my guy is.
I'm older, obviously. I'm Tommy Young. Tommy Young is be all end all for me. I did like Nick Patrick before he did the heel turn thing. I like now, of course, I'm dating myself because I'm older. As the newer guys, Mike Chioda.
Sure,
I
Great.
think he's phenomenal.
he is.
I like oh crap. Even what's her name of AEW, other than the fact that she hesitated on that count, she made a
Aubrey.
mistake. Aubrey, thank you. She's actually really a really good ref for if you watch I'm not going to bury AEW, but the referees serve less there to just count 3 counts than anything else. They don't really do much of anything. But that being said, she's a good referee. I think she does a good job.
I remember going to one of the AEW shows, and Aubrey's in the ring, and me and my friend are yelling, "Aubrey, we're here to see you only."
I'm
And she
Did she
smiled.
smile?
glad
Yeah.
she liked that. She needed that too.
I have to say David Manning would be my referee. That's going back to the world class.
Oh, yeah.
days, so.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's cool. And I don't know if this has happened to you yet, but this is me. Because like the fans around here are starting to recognize, because I'm on a lot of the shows, so they're starting to recognize me as one of the regular referees. And it's really cool when the little kids come up and they want to get your picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to get your picture with the ref? I'm like,
Right.
why? Why do you want your picture with me? They're like, no, we want your picture. I'm like, okay, come on, guys.
I did have that happen at our past show because, like you just said, I'm for NCWO at my home promotion. I work all of our I'm always one of the same one of the same referees. And so my face, I'm a local around here, so a lot of people know me and stuff. But the little kids, they're starting to get to know me, and that's just that, man. That's why I do it. That warms my heart so much.
It's the coolest thing in the
I love
world,
the
is it not?
kids.
It's like the coolest thing in the world. And like, I never in a million years, because I played rock music, and I was always entertaining adults in bars and clubs and everything. I never in a million years thought that I would be entertaining children. or involved in entertaining children.
Yeah.
And never in a million years did I actually think that it would be as cool as what it is.
It is
And
cool, man. It's
super
cool.
So it is so cool, especially, and once again, like you said, you're local, and people start to recognize you. And like, I'll be at the mall or something, and a little kid will come up and go, "Do you referee?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, wow, cool," and I'm like sitting there, just I'm getting groceries, these little kids, having a moment, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the referee at the show on Friday too. You should come." Of course, that's when I try to sell tickets, for the show wherever it is next.
Oh yeah, you got to promote.
Speaking of which, I've got 2 this weekend. I'm working Mega Pro Wrestling here in Charleston, actually in Chesapeake, West Virginia. Then I'm going to travel all the way sideways to the other side of the state to Huntington and work HCW there on Sunday. And I'll probably be Iron Man at least at one of those shows, maybe both. I don't want to do that, but oh well.
That is something I was introduced to the hard way. I didn't know referees did the Iron Man thing. I was used to my home promotion, so I just figured there was going to be 3 referees.
2 or 3, yeah.
And then I got to this place by myself. They had no card. They had no match card. And then I didn't know I was going to be the only referee. And so it was a big shocker for me. It kind of threw my game off a little bit that night, to be honest with you.
You get tired.
I just wasn't expecting it.
For me, here anymore, I don't expect it ever, but I know now that it's never off the table.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm starting to find out, certain promotions like to do that because they think they're saving money.
Right.
But they're going to find out that I don't have to take certain jobs if I don't want them. And if they want me to do the Iron Man, they're going to have to cough up a little bit more because
exactly.
I mean, it's number one. And this is what people don't understand. No, we're not taking the bumps, but we're constantly moving. And every match,
we put in work.
Yeah, we run around and run
up and down. I sweat sometimes more than the talent.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
They don't get that, man. It's like, man,
it's them lights, man. Those lights bearing down on you too, and running.
Well, you were wearing more
around.
clothes. You were actually wearing a shirt
and pants.
Pants, yeah.
And but no, I'm not complaining. But I mean, it has happened. Actually, the most I've ever done in one day, I did a double shot. I did a taping. My home promotion is Appalachian Championship Wrestling, ACW. They're my home promotion. But I also work for All Star Wrestling here in West Virginia. I work for International Combat Sports, Battleground Wrestling. I don't want to leave anybody out just in case they're watching. If I forgot HCW, Huntington Championship Wrestling. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I did a taping for ACW, and I did like 4 or 5 matches for them on the taping. But on tapings, which is cool, you get a little bit of a break between each match.
Sure.
Because they do promos and all that. Then I left there and went and ref for HCW that same day and ended up doing almost 11 or 12 matches in that day. And I was dead at the end of the night.
Oh, bad.
Wow.
And I didn't, and I didn't really, because even I was wondering, we really don't do all that much, yada yada yada. Yeah, we do. And I was totally wrong, because at the end of the night, my legs hurt, my abs hurt from dropping down, getting up, dropping down, getting up, dropping down, and getting up so many times. It was crazy. Yeah. But I'm glad you haven't had to do that. In a way, I'm kind of jealous that you haven't had to do that yet. But you'll find out on a double shot. it really sucks. So don't ever double shot. Don't ever double book yourself.
Good deal.
If you think you can do it, don't, because you're just going to pay for it later on that night.
For sure.
You were talking about autographs earlier. I had my autograph. Somebody asked for my autograph one time, and I autographed it for him. He looked at me and said, "Oh, I thought you were Gianni Martello. I'm sorry." Ryan doesn't. I don't think Ryan gets a joke.
Johnny Martello.
Yeah,
No.
trust me.
Yeah.
I was talking wrestling with my current boss right now, and I'm like, you know this guy? You know this guy? You know this guy? And then I have a picture of me dressed up as the warden, and I said, do you know who this guy is? And he goes, is that you? I'm like, yeah.
That's a promo character he's talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, that's me.
Man, no, Johnny's watching the show. I had to rip him a little bit. He's on another podcast usually.
Have you ever had your leg or something lock up while you're working a match?
I have not. And I don't want to.
Oh. I know how it is. You guys get up and down, like Jim said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's a lot rougher than it looks. I mean, until you actually go out there and do it, you're like, okay, I get it now.
And people think the ring is soft, but it's not.
No,
it's not.
Hell no.
soft. Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
What have you ever been in a situation during a match, especially a long match, where nature comes calling, and you're like, "Let's get this match over with"?
I have. I've had to urinate really badly because I was so nervous I forgot to go before the show. And this was like my first show, I think it was. And yeah, but luckily I was so happy I kind of forgot about it. But then once the adrenaline wore off, I was like, okay, I really got to go now.
That's when you're walking really fast back to the.
I do a fast three count real quick, even though it's a submission hold.
Mark's like,
yeah.
Oh man.
He's got him tied up in ropes. 1, 2, 3. I gotta go pee.
Hey, go home. We're gonna go home.
He's like, I'm seeing yellow right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
The ref's eyes are floating in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's great.
Have you ever had that happen to you, Jim?
What's that?
In the middle of the ring and nature calls?
I've
middle of
never
a
had
match?
to go number 2, but I've had to,
Oh,
I've never had that. No, I've never had that happen. But I've had to pee a couple of times, and like there was one time where I thought, because it was a little bit of a longer match, and I was like, okay, I can make it through this. By the end of the match, I was like, all right, fellas, let's take it home. I gotta go bad. Let's take it home.
Oh,
You must have missed my comment about the fast 3 count.
No, I didn't know it wasn't a fast 3 count, but I
While they're in the ropes.
like 1, 2, 3, get off the ropes. Come on.
I was just telling Ryan, your eyes are floating in the back of your head. You're ready to run.
No, but I did. There was one time where I got to the point where I was like, fellas, I was like, it's time to take it home. They're like, why? I was like, dude, I got to pee really bad. Let's take it home. I was like, they're like, okay, cool. When I'm there 5 minutes later, it's like, oh my guys,
We don't really want to
man.
give Vince McMahon any ideas. He'll call it the urination chamber.
He would. Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Would.
Now,
Vince, if you're watching, that's a joke.
I've also never had a moment where one of the guys has accidentally released any kind of matter,
Fluids.
be it liquid or solid.
Oh, jeez.
No,
It's happened.
No, it happens.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no, I
happened on
know.
TV.
It happens.
Hey, John Cena admitted he crapped his pants on national television.
You did.
Big Show's done it too. Or excuse me, Paul White.
I mean,
Well,
it happens. You're
Nikita fell out of his tights
on
during a match too.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did.
And the referee had to. It's Tommy Young. Tommy Young had to fix it.
Tommy Young went over and covered it back up for him. Mm-hmm.
but no,
That's a story to tell your kids.
It's on video. It's on YouTube somewhere.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
please never happen. Please, please, please never happen. Knock on wood. Don't ever want to. I don't even want to think about that because that's.
Hey, what about the one time Natalia's ring attire split open?
I don't think anybody complained.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now the girls that I've refed, they're not as scantily clad as WWE girls.
Gianni.
More like the pickle.
Only
So,
Gianni.
no, there's never been any wardrobe malfunctions. But if there was something like that were to happen, I'd quickly remove my shirt and expose my scrawny looking arms to the whole universe to make sure that they were covered up.
No, that's
Speaking of
respectful right
malfunctions, have either of you guys worked a match where there's a ring malfunction, like a turnbuckle came loose, or
Oh yeah. A matter of fact, here a few 1 or 2 months ago, I was working a show. We supplied the ring, but it had been raining really, really bad, and we had to transport the ring about 2 hours away. So the whole time that we were transporting the ring, it was raining so hard that the rain was bouncing up underneath the trailer and hitting all the wood. The wood swelled up to the point to where we couldn't put the 2x12s in properly, and we had to remove one whole 2x12 at one end of the ring, and told everybody don't work that side of the ring at all. And
Oh wow!
fortunately, nobody got hurt. Nobody fell through it. It was just one of those things. And even this last time, when we went up there, we supplied the ring. Fortunately, somebody was smart enough to bring a saw, because they were still using some of the 2x12s that got swollen, and the boards were too big, and we actually had to shave. Like, we actually literally had to take the saw along the side of the ring and on a piece of wood to knock it down into the ring.
Wow!
Wow.
So yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff happens like that. I've been stabbed by the ropes. No lie. Most ropes, unless it's WWE, I've never worked a promotion that actually uses real ropes. It's mostly cables with like a hose taped
plastic tubing?
taped up around it. And one of the companies that I was working at, the ring they were using, evidently some of the wires had split and poked through the plastic hose that was taped over. And I don't know if you do this as a ref, but I do. I what I call walking the horseshoe. If you're working a hard cam anywhere, I have a tendency to just kind of graze the ropes with my hand. And I happened to be walking by and had my hand out, kind of just grazing the ropes as I was walking by, and the ropes actually cut me.
Wow.
I got stabbed and cut by the ropes. No joke. Fortunately, after that match, I went to the one of the ring guys. I was like, man, you need to tape this rope in this corner, or yada yada yada. And he got up there and taped him. But yeah, I mean, I was bleeding like a stuck pig there during the match. It's the first time the referee got juice on one count, come up bloody.
I took a bump in the ring. I was part of a ring crew one time, and the guy told me, he said, if you want to be on my ring crew, you got to take a bump. So I took a bump, and here's the bump. And I got right up. It jarred me pretty good, though. It didn't hurt, but it jarred me pretty good.
I bet.
Did you, Ryan, when you were training to be a referee, did you learn how to take a bump?
Oh yeah, I actually trained to be a wrestler before I finally chose to be a referee. So I did wrestling training. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it didn't hurt. I mean, he threw me down right where I landed flat on my back instead of my shoulders, but I'd never done that before, and I had to take my wallet, my keys, everything in my pocket, and I put them in the corner. And I handed my phone to the guy that filmed that, and I said, "Can you film this for me?" He said, "Yeah." So when he picked me up, of course, he turned me and then threw me down. So when I sat up, I'm facing the opposite corner, and I didn't realize that. And I'm a little disoriented because I got jarred pretty good, and I got up, walked over. I thought somebody stole my wallet, but it was back behind me.
Yeah,
But no, I
trained.
can speak for the rings. It's 2x lumber, 2x12, covered in one thin layer of carpet padding with a canvas stretched over it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only give to it is whatever flex the steel underneath gives. You know. And some don't even have that kind of padding.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of them just depends on the promoter. Like I was saying earlier, one of the rings that I worked didn't even have a canvas. It just had a plastic tarp. And I mean, it was a dead stop if you tried to do any kind of I do a baseball slide. I stole the Tommy Young baseball slide. I'm actually pretty good. I can slide right out of the ring doing it. You know what I mean? I've gotten to that point.
Safe.
And
Jim slides to the back.
Slide right here, you know. And I take off running to do the slide, and I just dropped and stopped. I was like, oh crap, that hurt. You know? And it was like, man, but you know, you learn. You know, it's just, you know, some promoters will spend a little bit extra money, you know, and some won't. And you just got to learn how to bump it. Like I've learned in my short time that each ring, and I'll get up there and I don't bump around like the guys do and get in there and flip around a bunch of times, but I'll get in the ring and bump once or twice just to see how soft the ring is, just in case they need me to bump at some point in the night. And I try to make it a habit of getting in the ring and running the ropes and everything before the show anyway, just to get a feel of the ring, because after doing that slide and almost blowing my knee out, that was a quick lesson, real quick. And so now
you get yourself in the zone too. You know what I mean, for the match.
Oh yeah,
Guys, I'm gonna jump off here. I just want to thank you one more time for having me on. It's an honor, and I appreciate it. And thank you for all your advice and all the kind and encouraging words you've had for me. I really appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure to talk with you all.
We appreciate you being on. You're welcome back
Good
anytime.
being on, Ryan.
Nice,
come
nice
back.
to finally get to
Man,
meet
it was
you.
awesome talking
Absolutely.
to you. It's nice getting to talk to somebody, you know, who gets to be a zebra, you know what I mean, and understands what it's like to be a zebra.
That's right,
awesome.
man.
Referee Ryan Martin, we appreciate you being on.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
We'll talk
Easy,
soon.
man.
brother.
Take
Stay
care.
well. Be blessed.
You
Have a
as
good
well.
night. All right. That was a good interview.
That was
Yeah,
good.
man, he's great. We definitely need to bring him back on.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jim, I got a question. Your preference to enter the ring? Do you go over the second rope?
Oh yeah, I go over the second rope. Actually, I can skin the cat if I want to.
Wow.
It's his
Nice.
quads, not his knees.
What would it say? Vince have both what?
His quad. He blew his quads out, not his knees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
He ended up
He
sitting-
did that live.
He
I
just
remember
sat
that.
there. He just sat there and
And he sat there. Yeah, they had to go to commercial and they took him out of the ring. I remember that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
that-
didn't mean to interrupt you.
Those things, man. I'll say this: the ring bites. D'Lo Brown, if I can find my notes, he said the ring is a mistress. It will do everything. It can break your heart. It can break your body, and you'll keep wanting to come back. And eventually, you know, you can leave it, but you'll always come back. But when it leaves you, it'll hurt you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like everything he said about it, you know, he romanticized it. It was beautiful, and everything he said was true. It can hurt you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it will break your heart because
Mhm.
eventually you will leave,
Yeah.
and
I
you'll
can
always want her back.
I
you
can
know,
remember late 80s.
and you know, and I was like, man, dude, that's so profound. You know,
Yeah, I can remember the late 80s. We went down to see a match, and it was they were taping for NWA TV, and it was Barry Windham versus Mike Rotundo, and something in the ring broke, and they had to stop filming, and we got to see they took out the broken I guess 2x12s or whatever, and brought them all new and in, and took a little while, but it was interesting to see how the ring was put together.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
You know,
the first time I actually got to see one taken apart and put together, I was working. I hadn't even. I don't know. Was it my first show? I don't even think it. I was helping. No, I wasn't working at the time. I was helping. I was a camera guy, and I was coming in and working camera for International Combat Sports Wrestling, ICS Wrestling, and I was watching them put the ring together, and that's the first time I'd actually seen the ring being put
There you
together.
go.
You know what I mean? The actual boards going in, you know, the rails and everything being hooked up and stuff. And there's a lot of when people, you know, joke about how it's a trampoline and stuff like that. It you know, I want to pull them in the ring and just have them. I don't want to body slam them. I just want them to fall backwards. If it's
Yeah.
a trampoline, you can fall
Yeah.
backwards and bounce back up. Just fall backwards. You know what I mean? Just once. And you know, I guarantee you, you know, Mark, you know,
Yeah, I know.
you know, it's.
I
not
haven't
a
been in
pleasant
the ring
feeling
yet.
whatsoever.
But I
No.
know it's not a trampoline.
No, it's not true.
No.
Now, the ones on TV, the studio, they had a little bounce to them. You could just tell they had a little bounce
Well,
to them.
ours has that bounce too, because the way the ring is designed, it's designed to have that give. So when it does bounce, that way you're not killing yourself. You're not being body slammed on like a deck.
But there are no springs. That's the main point. There are no springs.
There are no springs. The reason why it springs is because the board's bow.
Yeah.
And that's where you get that.
Yeah.
And
Gianni, this is actually a promo championship that I won and then retired the belt. It's
nice.
Yeah, very
hardcore
nice.
championship.
You should see his hardcore act.
One of many belts I've retired.
Speaking of belts, getting back to the main topic of belts, I'm about to pull the trigger and get that Fandu Dome Globe out of layaway, but I'm trying to work out details on that. I'm a little confused as to how much I owe on it, because when I put the down payment down, I went through their website, but it didn't take anything out. But it also added shipping charges to it because it was less than $65. But anything over $69 on their website is free shipping. So I've had to email them and ask them, do they
sure
deduct
that
the $10?
probably will be applied as
probably applied to the fee.
Yeah.
How's their communicate? Is their communication very good, Mark?
I don't know yet. I haven't got a reply back because I figure they're in China. Fandu's in China, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
so.
Well, I figure I sent it this morning, which was probably the middle of the night there, so I'm waiting for them to reply. I actually sent them two. I sent the first one. I thought, man, that's confusing. So I sent them a second one and said disregard the first one. So I'm hoping I didn't confuse it. But they also said that they take PayPal goods and services, which means you pay fees or they deduct fees, but they don't tell you to add the fees onto the price. So I don't know if you go ahead and pay what their price is and they take the deduction or what. I don't know.
Because I know when I purchased my belts from them, I got a couple of Fandus that I got from them. My first one I made the payments on. It was just all together for some reason.
I wish I'd done that. But anyway, I'm hoping to get that out of layaway in the next week or so.
I can't wait to get my AWA next week.
And I've got a little bit of a rant. Richard knows what I'm talking about. I'm not going to name any names. Of course, you guys know I do releathering. I had a guy hit me up for a strap, a send-out strap. And so I started on the strap. And I won't give it a lot of details because I don't really want to embarrass this guy because I think he's probably a good guy. But somewhere in the middle of this, he came short of money, which happens sometimes. Unexpected bills come up. I get that. And he asked if he could put the payment off for another month. I said, yeah, that'd be fine because it gives me a little bit more time working the belt because it was a lace strap. And so he was going to pay me around the first of this month. He said you pay me on the first. So I was going to send him a video of the finished strap. I'd actually finished it ahead of time. And so I sent him a video, and he liked it. He said, yeah, I'll pay you Thursday, which is today. This was on the first, which he was going to pay. And so he said, I'll pay you on Thursday. I said, okay. Oh, let me back up. He had run short of money. He offered to pay so much money down on the belt. I said, yeah, that'd be fine. So he sent me a list of what he said he was going to send me because he needed the money. So he also paid me goods and services. I told him to pay me friends and family, which he didn't do that. Which you know what happens there? They deduct fees. Plus, with this new tax law, if you go over $600 for the year, they send you a 1099. So I did not want that. So I told him when you pay the balance, it's going to be friends and family. You're going to pay the extra of what they deducted from me. It's going to be friends and family only. He said okay. So anyway, I got a little bit of his money, and so today he messaged me. And he said, can I pay you Tuesday? And so, I'm not very happy about that. This is the point of my rant. If you're going to order something, especially something that's handmade, be sure you have the money set aside for that or have a plan for, what did I just do? I clicked on something. Okay. Have a plan in place or back out of the deal. Just back out totally. Don't say just don't keep putting off the deadline. Don't keep putting off the deadline because I got bills to pay too. I got to pay for the materials ahead of time. And what's funny about this story is not 30 minutes after this happened today, I had another guy message me say, "Hey, I'd like to have a Figs Dome Globe strap." So I've got one, but I got to wait till Tuesday to see if this guy comes through. So
No,
we'll
you want to
see.
honor your.
Well, yeah, I always honor my end of
Yeah.
the deal, you know.
Yeah.
But this has become an increasing issue with people. They'll order something from me, and then all of a sudden, it's usually a mom story. It's usually mom's in the hospital, mom's sick, or mom's in financial trouble. It's always a mom story. It's like the dog ate my homework.
Mhm.
I would. I
Like
would
some of
be
the belt
that guy
makers.
that would be like, man, I'm an alcoholic, and I got to buy my beer, and I just can't afford to send out for a leather strap at this point in time. I mean, come on, man. You know, I mean, if you're going to use excuses, just come up with something better than my mom.
Yes, it was, Gianni.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm
not
going to
an
wait him out
alcoholic.
Tuesday. The other guy that hit me up, he's willing to send me the money right now. But I told the guy I would wait till Tuesday. I gave him till Tuesday.
Hey,
But I
it's
also
just
told him-
business. It's
Yeah.
just business at the
It's
end of
business.
the day.
Yeah, I got to pay bills. I got to pay for the materials. I got to pay
Uh-huh.
for the supplies I used on the strap. So I front that money up front. And I had to pay. I got a PayPal bill coming due that I got to pay. So I told the guy, it'll be Tuesday, or I will refund the money you sent me, and I will sell the belt to somebody else.
No. Here's the thing. What you need to do is have them put a deposit, because
Yeah.
if they start doing a deposit, they'll follow through. And if I mean, I don't know what you're charging for whatever strap, but make sure it's a sizable enough deposit to where they're going to have to come back to finish it. Like if you're
Yeah.
charging $300 for a strap, I would ask for at least 60 to 80 up front. Boom. Just
Actually,
because.
To be honest, Gianni, all these belts right here, they mean something to me. This one's not going nowhere.
Yeah, he worked for that. He didn't buy it. He worked for it.
Yeah, this is one actually I worked for it. I mean, it was a hobby, but I worked for it.
Gianni, you could get one made just like it.
Yeah,
Plenty of belt makers.
I bet you get unique up about it.
There
Tell
you
him I
go.
sent you. Let me put
There
the
you
back
go.
on full screen. Hang on.
That is very nice. Look at that.
Screenshot that, Gianni.
Yeah.
It needs a marked leather customized strap though.
Well, I don't know if I could paint the strap two colors.
I want a solid oxblood strap for.
Oh, okay. He likes that
Yeah.
oxblood.
Man, that ox plug's sharp, but everybody wants it.
Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. I want the Mark's blood like.
Mark's
Yeah, the Mark's plug.
My finger's healing nicely, by the way.
He
It's-
will recover, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on short-term disability right now.
Yeah, I just ordered.
Weird angle, but I have to plug my phone in.
Okay.
I just ordered 3 belts. I got the AWA Intimate coming. I got the TV title that's going to Mark to get leather, and I also got, what was the other one, Mark? Northwest or
North American. North American.
North American.
Mid South North America.
Yep.
I love this belt. I love this thing.
Yeah, that's sharp.
It's
The
You know
old,
what I-
the old NWA tags used to look like that too.
that's right. They
Wait.
did. Yeah.
Mhm.
When I see that, it reminds me.
Look how
of
little it is.
So many belts. Yeah.
I mean, my hand covers the whole main plate.
I mean, no disrespect. It reminds me of the AEW Women's title,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's got
it
that
does,
feel
yeah.
to it.
Not
you
the
know what I
size of
mean?
it.
But this was
Yeah.
the belt to have. I mean, this is like the United States Heavyweight Championship was like this.
Yep.
The NWA United States. Was
Yeah, I
The
like
love
this.
the
national
NWA
title was
led
too.
the
The
United
national
States.
title actually had like a almost like a house or a roof over top of it, designed like an angled.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
I don't remember seeing that one.
I had the NWA, the red, white, and blue one. I had that one. I let it go.
Oh, the national
Yeah.
heavyweight. Yeah.
Oh wow, man!
I had that a couple of years ago.
That's a sweet belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to learn how to paint like that. Different colors. I got to learn how to do that. I'm thinking about investing. I gotta get caught up on money first, but I'm thinking about investing in a airbrush kit because I'm starting to get requests for painted straps, and I talked to the lady at Tandy Leather the other day, and she said if you can get you a airbrush and you have to thin the paint down with like a little bottle of paint. It comes in a little bottle like that. Put 4 drops of water in it. So all it takes 4 drops of water to go through a airbrush.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
I
that
got-
might be something to look into, man, because
There is no
People-
Tina Rich, Gianni.
Yeah.
I didn't read that last one. He say?
Oh, he said, love the old school belts. And hey, easy now, Rich. I don't know what that was about, but he wants to know if you have any you would trade.
The only one I have that I would trade right now is I have a Red Universal Championship. That's basically the only one I have that I would be interested in trading. I mean,
Yes,
I
I don't do
I have a
trades. They
rare
come here to
gem that I
live.
got. I got a women's NXT, an OG women NXT belt, but that's not going nowhere because that's hard to find.
Okay,
But I
we're up to
have
not-
three promo titles that I actually retired that I actually own.
Ryan just shared this podcast on his personal page, or maybe it's on
Awesome.
his. He's got actually got a Facebook page for his referee character.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a good guy to have on there.
Oh, he was a great guy. Yeah, he lives maybe 4 hours away from me. He's in eastern Oklahoma. Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, man, definitely. We should have him back on for sure.
Yeah. He's welcome back anytime. Enjoyed that. I got a couple of people I'm gonna hit up. One of them I already talked to about it. It's just a matter of catching him free. I'm not gonna spoil any surprises here, but I'll tell you who it is. It's the guy that owns the new World Class promotion, World Class Pro Wrestling.
Mhm.
He's as a matter of fact, I saw a post on their Facebook page today. They are basically, I can't reach it, but they're actually they had I think it was Dave Milliken made the old fashioned World Class Tag Team titles from Reggie artwork,
Mm.
Oh wow.
and they're going to
Wow.
have their tag team champions. Hold it, I got one. Hang on a second.
The dome globe type.
This one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a sweet belt.
What's unique about this tag title is you usually see the hump on top. This one has one on bottom. I've never seen another tag belt that's had that. We'll put this on
True.
full screen.
Yeah.
Love these tag belts. These are my favorite tag belts ever.
I
Mhm.
like the classic designs, man.
Yeah.
The birds, the globe.
You got to have the birds in the globe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what's funny, this belt used to represent this title.
Wow.
Wow.
I've told
I
this
mean-
before, but these Levy belts, Fritz von Erich had 2 of them, and they did. They represented 4 different titles in the World Class promotion, and then he finally forked out the money for the individual titles. These were the tag titles.
So when the tag belts were defended, they would come out with that belt on. The tag team would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they had 2 belts, so 2 guys would come out. It's upside down.
Mhm.
Yeah. They would both come out with these belts, and they'd finish the match, and whoever won, they'd come back and they'd hand it to the other guy. Say, here's your match, title belt for your match.
Oh wow.
Didn't know
Wow.
that.
Yeah, the belt that I seen that had the birds on it with the globe that I liked was DeAndre belt. Also, I got the Fandu version.
Nor get with me privately. We'll talk about that. I mean, you live over in Malaysia. Shipping is going to be outrageous, but
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
we'll talk about that. Just message me privately. We'll talk about that. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. Gianni
Yes,
sent me a
sir.
picture. Let me see what he sent me here.
Oh goodness.
So I'm excited for my belts from Unique. I'm patient. I'm like a little kid at Christmas time.
Oops, hold on. Oh, okay. I saw this. Okay. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna download this picture.
I'm definitely gonna do an unboxing though. That's for sure.
When you opened that Dome Globe I sold you, you did basically a private unboxing with me. I wish you'd done that publicly because I videotaped it, but there's no sound to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Here it is.
that NWA TV title. Once that's done.
Oh, I'm still on full screen. Sorry. I turned the went to another screen and forgot I was on full screen. Okay. I'm gonna upload this picture as soon as I find it. Here we go. Don't you start barking. He's getting tired of listening to the show.
Mm.
No.
He's like, all right, end it already.
Yeah. Okay. Gianni, I think he's either bought this belt or is going to buy this belt, and he's going to have it signed by Nash or X Pac and Red.
Oh.
So
The
Let me show this
NWO, the
picture.
NWO belt.
that one.
Oh wow.
Damn.
That'd be
You gonna have
perfect.
them spray paint it?
That'd be perfect for Hall and Nash and Six Pack to sign with the white. And
I was never a fan of spray painting the belt.
no, me neither.
Neither was I, but you know,
We didn't get a vote.
I got a good question for you guys. What up,
Oh,
Jay?
Jason.
I got a
Oh.
question for you guys. If you could meet any wrestler right now, past or present, which would be the number one on your list?
Oh,
meat.
Oh
I know,
man.
right away.
Ooh.
Right away.
Oh, to meet. Oh, okay.
Right away.
Mm. I can name like 4 that are equally like, but they're my own like reasons. And these Harley Race,
yeah.
Roddy Piper,
That'd be a good one.
Vader, Chris Candido.
Interesting.
Okay, I got one that's alive now, and it's on my list. He's my childhood hero, whether anybody likes it or not. I got to say the man, the myth, the legend, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
got
I thought you were meant like deceased. That's where my mind went.
No, past, present, or
Present day. Ooh,
We missed
like
our
there's a lot
15-minute
present
warning.
day. Like
I'm gonna go
current
put it up
Kansas
anyway.
business.
I'm gonna be so laughed at for my present day, but I'll take it.
2 minutes late, but there's our 15-minute warning.
Yeah, man. That's actually a good question. Anybody, because like right now I don't view it as a fan thing. For me, it's more about learning and getting better at my craft. So it's like anybody
Gianni
that I
took
can
my
meet.
second one.
Austin or Taker.
I met Taker. He was great. Taker was great.
Those would be my other two.
I'd definitely like to meet Taker. Working right now, Nick Aldis.
When I met
really like
Taker,
to meet
Yeah.
Aldis.
he was full in character. I mean, like he always was. I mean,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
full in character.
Well,
And if it's somebody
protected-
from
I
the
mean,
past,
even before he did the film match, he was worried about protecting kayfabe. You know what I mean? And
He
you got to love
years.
that.
He lived it.
oh, it was old school.
Yeah.
You know,
For me, from the past would have to be Piper, taken from us way too soon. God, the stories he could tell. I mean,
Oh yeah. The way he told them.
yeah.
I would
yeah.
have to say
I love
from the
Piper.
past, I would say Harley Race or Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, Dusty, yeah.
Dusty for sure. Yeah, I
Dusty
can't believe I
was-
left Dusty.
Love
on that list.
Dusty. Love Dusty.
Oh yeah. That's there.
The Rhodes.
Still alive. I mean, even though he's not held in the same light as he once was because of all the crap that's come out about the plane ride from hell, but definitely Ric Flair.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
on my list, yeah.
Helicopter. I'd like to meet Rick too, man.
Just because as a kid, Harley Race was the first world champion I ever saw. But Ric Flair was the world champion that I grew up with, if you know what I mean. And for me, which people up north, they had Hogan. I'm Southern. I'm mid-Atlantic. I'm actually dead smack in the middle. But we were part of the Mid-Atlantic
Good old
territory, so
Pedro.
Ric
Yep.
Flair. Oh, Pedro for sure, man. Bruno.
That's on my list too. That was on my list.
Cornette. I would love to meet Cornette.
Oh, I met Cornette.
Not
5
as a
minutes, but
fan,
I met him.
not as a fan, but on a professional. You know what I mean? Because
I'm not gonna say anything to this comment.
but I would like to meet Cornette. Man, really anybody, because once again, it's more from the aspect of learning and honing my craft, and anything that I can, any little scatter of information that they can drop, the little crumbs that they can drop on the ground that I can pick up, is definitely an advantage for me. So anybody in the business that has the time to talk to some lowly referee for sure.
Bro, I hear you can meet Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan at his restaurant all the time. They're doing karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hogan does live videos every night from there.
I mean, I would love to go to that restaurant, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd
That's
like
what
to
down
meet-
in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it Orlando or Tampa? It's Orlando, isn't it?
It might be
Orlando. Yeah, no, I think it's a Tampa area.
Tampa St.
I
Pete,
believe it
isn't it?
is. Yeah,
Tampa.
Tampa
Okay,
St.
yeah.
Pete. Yeah.
From my parents. That's
And I
all
didn't
they
know.
know.
I just read recently that he was officially divorced.
sides.
Now he's already with another woman. He
Yeah.
went through his second divorce already.
Wow.
Crazy.
He's trying to match Ric Flair's
Trying
record.
to catch up with Rick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you know something though? He's got to think. He's got a particular woman though.
Yeah. The blonde.
Blonde.
They're all blondes.
Young
Yeah.
blonde.
Yep.
I got to think for brunettes.
Yeah.
They're
I
all the type.
Hold up, my wife's a redhead, but
my favorite wrestler, or the wrestlers I'd like to talk to would be Ric Flair and Harley Race.
There you go.
Just the stories
Definitely.
that I mean they've seen it all.
mhm.
And really, if you get Ric Flair out of character, which is rare, he's actually pretty eloquent when he speaks. You know, when he's serious, he's out of character. And by the way, Jason, I saw that you were. I think you had another surgery today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're healing up nicely.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Yeah, they do get younger and younger, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, why not? If I could get by with that, I would too.
That's what keeps Hogan ticking, man.
Yeah.
He's got to chase that young tail around.
Yeah. Yeah. Chase those young gold diggers.
Exactly. And when he gets divorced from them, they'll just take half of what he has, and then the
Yeah.
next one will take a half
Hey,
of that half.
this divorce, he had to buy her car.
Hit
That was
her
in the
car
divorce settlement. No, he had to buy her car.
from her.
Yes,
That's like
Oh
an
wow.
awful lot lighter, unlike the first divorce.
I think that's what I read.
She cleaned him out that first divorce.
Oh yeah. She
Oh,
did him
man.
awful.
Oh man.
That was awful. And I thought that was one of those rare marriages that was actually going to work because the story behind it. I mean,
Yeah. They had their TV
You know
show
what did it?
together.
yeah,
Reality television killed that marriage.
yeah.
Reality
I agree.
television.
I agree. hmm
I think
I like
that
the
there was
the
a lot
Gene
more.
Simmons show better than I did the Hulk Hogan show.
Well, I'll say this, and not because I don't know anything about Hulk Hogan's love life or anything else, but there were other factors that were going on. I mean, you heard about what happened with his son
Yeah.
and the car accident and stuff like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sure that played into,
Oh,
So-
definitely.
but at the end of the day, these guys are used to. We have a term for girls who make themselves presentable to the wrestlers. They're called ring rats.
Ring rats. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say it. Yeah.
And I'm sure Hogan has had more than his fair share of rats.
Oh, definitely.
Wow, he's been through the mill.
Oh
Jason.
wow, Jay.
Jason.
Oh wow, bro!
Take care, Jason.
Damn, I hope you feel better, man.
He's had ankle surgery, now rotator cuff.
Wow. Take care, brother.
Wow.
I don't know how y'all do this facial hair stuff, guys. I'm
Well,
like
this
10
is coming off in a couple of weeks.
I'm
See,
10
what-
days in, and this
what it
this
is
feels like
is you
somebody
gotta
just
have
took
a
like
nice-
gasoline and just set me on fire. Like
You gotta have a nice oil and a nice
Yep.
condition, and it keeps it nice.
Well, I've got beard oil, but I don't use it very much.
I have to.
But
The
I-
beer balm
obviously,
and
I
the
need to
Condition it
lotion
properly.
works.
This is.
Yep.
I
Just
don't
talk
like
about
even know
Hogan.
how long this is because I look old now.
see, me and
Remember what-
Andy don't have it a lot up here, so that's
Because
why
you
we
pulled
bring
it out through
down
the
here.
chin.
Here.
You pulled it.
Well, see, I started to get thin back here in the back, and I started using the Rogaine. It
Did
works.
it work?
Does it work?
Does
It
it?
did work? Wow.
Yes.
I got the I got the young what was that guy oh man, I'm bad with names.
I'm thinking of the guy, the Swiss cyborg.
No, not that. Robin Hood. Friar Tuck. I got the Friar Tuck going.
Or Friar Tuck, yeah.
Oh, my God, Jay,
Jason's
man.
going to be bionic by the time this is over.
He's gonna be the $5 million man. The
I've had
$10 million
two of the-
man.
I've had
You ever seen
two-
those Extreme Makeover car editions? It's the Extreme Makeover Jason edition.
Yeah, I've had two necks where they took the discs out and put screws and everything. I make a good antenna in my neck.
Oh wow.
Didn't help with my walking situation, but oh well.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I was
That's-
very fortunate when I broke my leg. I didn't have to have surgery. That's actually, this leg has been broken a couple of times now, and every time I've been fortunate enough to not do just enough damage to not have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Lucky.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you the only bone ever broke in my body. It's this pinky right here.
Is that when you go like this?
See how it's bumped up on
Oh
top?
yeah, I see it. I see it.
I heard it doing the stupidest thing. Every time I hurt myself, it's something stupid. You just hold my beer and watch this. No, my daughter, when she was really young, was crying. I was trying to get her to calm down, and what would usually make her laugh is she'd sit on the bed, and I would throw my arms forward, go 1, 2, 3, and I'd dive on the bed. And I was going through my divorce at the time, and so I was at my parents' house, staying at their house, and the bed had a footboard with a ball on top of it.
Oh,
So
no.
when I went to throw my hands forward, I just a glancing blow with this pinky, and I fell into a heap and had my face buried in the pillow. We were both crying at that time. So,
Wow.
and I went to the doctor. He said that'll go back the way it was. Well, it still hasn't. This has been 23
He's like-
years. 23 years. Oh yeah. I think there's a chip bone in there or something, but I'm gonna leave
Wow.
it. It don't hurt.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've done some damage. I used to ride skateboards when I was a kid. Blew the knee out.
I hurt my shoulder running to first base, trying to show some girls playing softball how to run to first base. I stumbled halfway to first base, and I thought, no, I'm going to make it. And I staggered the rest halfway to first base, and I finally got to first base, and I went down, and I think I over-rotated my shoulder or whatever, hyperextended it. And
Our,
It hadn't
our
been the same
ages
since.
are showing, guys.
I've dislocated. Well,
This was-
Yeah.
this was
dislocated this thumb.
this was 15 years ago. Well, I was 40.
no,
but-
all mine are recent.
yeah.
Like just getting old sucks.
I came pretty
Yeah,
close
it
to
does.
pulling my back out altogether because I used to lift weights when I was younger. I mean, I'm not old, but I'm not young neither. But
Well, I see something that looks exciting. My inner child tells this old body, "Yeah, you could do that." Then my body shows me real quick, "No, you can't."
No.
yeah, it's like,
I found out that I can't do tricks on a skateboard anymore
nah.
at my advanced.
I never
age.
could.
I can still ride it. I
That's
can
the
still
worst
ride it,
thing
and
to
I feel
do.
Pretty good at that.
I mean, I'll be 47 Sunday, and trust
Close,
me,
Gianni.
I'm 48 right now. I just
right
turned 48 in
here,
October.
I'm 21, but right here,
Oh, I'm 12, man. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Right here, I'm
there you
12.
go,
16.
There you go.
16 right here.
there you go.
Yeah.
Like my mom's like, you do, like when I told her I was getting into wrestling, she's like, you do know you're almost 50 years old, and I'm like, yeah. I was
Gotta
like,
live the
"Mom."
dream sometime.
Yeah.
It came down to this. I had to explain it to her. I said, Mom, my whole life I've lived my dream of playing music, and I said, and that got taken away from me. I said, I found a way to channel all that. I don't want to say negativity, but all that energy and that I used to create music into creating entertainment for other people.
You didn't do the math right, Gianni. That should be -5.
I'm gonna see if I can swing this camera around. I forgot how we did it the last time.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes left in the show. Oh, he left.
Oh, whoops.
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 He'll be back just in time for us to close the show.
He gets the cord plugged back in.
Uh,
Back. Yeah.
I don't mind telling my age. I'm well, you didn't get the camera turned around.
Yeah.
I'll be 56 on my birthday in September. And I can't speak for Andy, but my birthday's before his.
Yeah.
Just barely, but it's
We're the great 55s. Come on, dude.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years I'll be a classic 57 Chevy.
Yeah, 57 Chevy. There you go.
You know you're getting old when you can measure your age in caliber. You know, like when you're
Yeah,
44,
right.
38. It's past the 50 caliber. I don't know where it goes from there.
Makes
Hey,
it more
50
interesting.
caliber's a big ass round, though. I'll tell you that.
It is, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
We're about out of time, people. I want to thank everybody for joining us again tonight. I want to thank again Ryan Martin, referee Ryan Martin, for joining us tonight. It was a
Great
pleasure
guy.
to have him on. And as always, we're 35 members away from 1,000. 35 members away.
Tell your friends
So,
and your neighbors.
Tell
join
your
the-
friends, tell your neighbors if you get along with them. Tell your boss.
and you
tell
can
your
win-
wife.
and you can win a free, beautiful TV belt.
Yeah, we're going to give away a free TV belt. I'm going to show that one more time. Where is it at? There it is. Oh, wrong one. No, it was the right one
Oh,
the
he's
first
giving that
time.
away. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
Mark. Come on, Mark.
Not the toy one. Not the toy one. We're giving that beauty away. So.
Yeah, not
And I'm
the
still
toy
working
one.
out details on how we're going to do that. We'll figure it. We're not going to do it immediately. It's going to take some planning, but we'll get it done. But
Ben will help you.
thanks for joining us once again. Thanks to Andy. Thanks to Richard. Thanks for Jim.
Thanks for having me again.
Thanks.
I sent Lane the link tonight. I don't know what happened to him. He hasn't been on. So hopefully he'll be back next week. But
Yeah.
we'll be back next week.
We'll be
So-
here.
Cool.
Join us next week right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good night, everybody.